Well, since the weekend, the country is awaiting a new government, and as the dust settles and with the drawing of new parallels, we turn to commentators to give us political clarity with their thoughts as to what Malaysia has witnessed and has been through so far. At this point, I'm joined by technologist Nurul Aisha Abdul Rahman. She is from the School of Communication and Media, UITM Shah Alam. Nurul, Aisha, thanks for doing this. I'd like to begin with this, your observation of the running of the election, GE15. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. Thank you, BERNAMA, for having me. Well, I'm with the rest of Malaysia. I think quite shocked at we have not yet to form a government. But overall, GE15 has been quite a smooth process. I think kudos to SPR. I think this has a lot to do with the online SPR SEMA, right? So it was a calmer process at the voting stations. Of course, this goes to only those unaffected by the floods and rain. But overall, I think also the sentiments, the emotional sentiments, we see less of that at these polling stations as opposed to the last GE. But yes, alas, we are here at this hung parliament situation, which is the first in our history. And political uncertainty has only multiplied, not resolved, I guess.
Right, with that uncertainty being multiplied, what are you hearing on the ground about how it's all played out? What's some of the feedback you are receiving?
Quite, I think the sentiments vary, of course, prior to 19 November. I mean, I think Pakatan has definitely the most popular. You have the presence online, Twitter, Facebook, everything. But I guess it turns out that, as we can see, PN with its coalition with PAS won the seat more than we anticipated, I guess. And so the sentiments, I'm also subscribing to the idea that this has been a Malay Muslim waves 2018 with PAS, a fact that won 49 seats, more than anybody else. So it's interesting to see which political bloc would form the government. We're anxious.
That's right. Interesting and anxious. I think that is a good way to coin how everyone is feeling at this point. Aisha, Undi 18, that of course was a game changer as well. Did it meet your expectations? Is that what you perhaps had forecast to see in terms of the Undi 18 results?
Well, I must say, of course, I do not have all the statistics, but looking and observing online, if you look at, they say Undi 18, the youngsters are glued on TikTok for anything for their media consumption. And you can see during the elections, there are many FYPs flooding the TikToks and very excited. So I guess they did come out and did their duty. Excited, of course, just with the rest of the nation. But what they did not see is that swing, I guess, to PAS or PN maybe. So which I guess Pakatan Harapan and other political parties should look into in-depth analysis maybe after this, whether there has been a very strong TikTok presence of PN as politicians on TikTok.
Right, and speaking of how things must be analysed, Aisha, without much time left on the clock, what must be in Malaysia's list of priorities for the coming year?
I guess, of course, economic stability, social reforms. I mean, there's a poll done by Merdeka Center, if I'm not mistaken, about 74% Malaysians wanted wanted economic stability, and we know the talk about 2023 being maybe we're seeing a recession. So I guess this instability, political instability, is not really making any of the investors putting more faith in Malaysia. So me, as well as everyone else in Malaysia, we hope for a more stabilized government, wherever that would be. Put aside their differences in ideology, because it's a fact that no one actually won or have a simple majority as yet. So they need to put things aside, their bickering, and then just for the sake of Malaysia, move forward.
Right.
Yeah, thank you very much, Aisha. Very good observations there. Of course, having said that, I think the thing that everyone needs to put their right foot forward, and this is now Malaysia is at the point where we need to talk about negotiations and how we're going to negotiate for one thing and one thing only, which is to move the country forward.